Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to save money on Parrot shop. Now, times are a bit tough at the moment, and when we have expensive pets like parrots, the pennies have to stretch even further. So I thought I would give you some of my tips and tricks for saving money on Parrot shop so that you can still give your birds an amazing diet, but also save a little bit of money in the process. So the first thing we like to do here is meal plan. So we'll plan out our meals and lunches for the week, and then we will kind of correlate it against what we want to put in the bird's chop. So say for example we're having like a Mediterranean vegetable dish, we will have peppers and courgette or zucchini, depending on what you call it. For that we'll have salad for our lunches, which can go into the bird's chop as well. We may have fruit for having a fruit salad, they can have a little bit of that too. So there's lots of different ways that you can kind of combine what you're having as well as what the birds are having to save on money, and also it reduces food waste as well, because if you're buying loads of food for yourself and you're only using it for yourself, sometimes you end up with spare and extras. So if that can go towards the birds, then that way nothing's going to waste, and you're also making sure you're saving money on the parrot chop too. One of the other cool things that you can do is regrowing vegetables from their scraps. Now you can do this with cabbage, you can do it with celery, different types of lettuce, and Bok Choy as well, or Pak Choy again, depending on what you call it. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. It's really easy, and you can just do it using a glass, your scraps and water.
So I've got my scraps from my Bok Choy or Pak Choy, depending on what you want to call it. I have chopped off the leaves and left about 2 to 3 inches of the plant left at the base and the root. Just popped it in some water, about an inch worth of water. I'm going to change that water every couple of days, and then it'll keep it nice and fresh. It's just next to my little mint plant there. And on a warm windowsill, this should start to grow some brand new leaves, so you can recycle the plant and save a few pennies as well. And as you can see, after about a week, we've got these beautiful new leaves growing, quite a few of them actually. So it'll take a little while to grow, but if you can save a few pennies and reuse this, then it's awesome. And of course the second growing of this plant isn't going to have 100% of the nutrition of the first one, but it's not going to hurt your bird, it's going to be perfectly healthy, and it's going to be fun enrichment too.
And for anyone interested, this is the Bok Choy a couple of weeks later. So it's really big, it's got these leaves on that can be harvested at any point. And the best bit are these beautiful flowers that are on top, and these are edible for humans and birds, for the Bok Choy or Pak Choy plant, depending on what you call it. So I think that's really fun, and it's just another way of just getting a little bit more for your money out of your veggies. Another way to make sure that your chop doesn't go off quickly, meaning you have to buy more and then, spending more money, is to make sure you're storing it correctly. Now, I've spoken about this before on my channel, but we make our chop once a week and we have 7 birds and we store it in the fridge. So the best way to keep your chop fresher for longer is, firstly, when you're storing it in the fridge, make sure you're storing it in the actual body of the fridge and not the door of the fridge. I make the mistake a lot, and the door of the fridge is the warmer part of the fridge than inside the actual bulk of it. So keep it in there, and also make sure you're using clip lock boxes. We use these Systema ones from Amazon. They're in my Amazon store, link down below, and they are really brilliant for keeping chop really nice and airtight, because if we get lots of air in there, then there's going to be problems with things like that and making it go off. So we try and reduce the moisture where we can. Sometimes we'll add things like dried flowers as well to soak up moisture, or oats, but the main thing is to keep it in the body of the fridge and keeping it in a clip lock container. The next thing you can do is grow your own herbs at home on your kitchen windowsill. Now, we don't have a garden, otherwise we'd be growing lots of things for the birds, but you can still grow things if you don't have access to a garden by using the sunlight that hits on your windowsill. So I've got this really cool planter with herbs in it. I've got the planter and everything again on Amazon, but these are the herbs I'm growing at the moment. I just got them from Tesco, I think. They came in their own little pots, but then I put them into my own pots, and we've got some beautiful rosemary here, which smells amazing. And we've got some mint, and it has the world's longest sprig growing, which is really bizarre because the rest of the plant's very small, but that's cool. And you can just take cuttings from this and keep looking after them, and then they continue to grow. And herbs are fantastic to add into your bird's diet. If you haven't seen my fiance David's video all about herbs, I will link it up above and down below, because they're just so fantastic to include. There's lots of health benefits and they're really enriching as well. So definitely give herbs a go. And I don't know if you can hear, but Kipling is laughing at me throughout this recording because he just is trying to throw me off, as all the birds do whenever we're filming. Now, in addition to herbs, you can also grow microgreens. Here are some I made earlier. These are alfalfa microgreens, again, which I just grew on my windowsill. I didn't use any soil or anything like that because you can grow them without soil. So if you'd like a tutorial on how to grow microgreens, then I can make that for you. Let me know down in the comments. They are kind of like the next step up from sprouts. So sprouts are awesome, microgreens are even better. So if you'd like to know more about those, do let me know and I will make a video on it. Another way of saving money is by buying some pre-packaged goods. Now, I know some people are a bit unsure about these kinds of things, but they're perfectly safe. So I get this beetroot salad, and beetroot salad is really cool because it has beetroot, spinach, chard and lamb's lettuce in there. So just for this bag you get 4 different items. I think it was about 80p, something like that. Prices are changing all the time, but you can get quite a lot for your money in some of these salad bags. I think in the States they're normally sold in like plastic boxes, but things like this pre-packaged salad is perfectly safe to use with your birds. Even if it says washed already, I normally just wash it anyway just for peace of mind. But you know, giving them leafy greens is a really excellent way of providing nutrition, and then when you get the variety as well, that's awesome too. And the final way to save money on parrot chop in today's video is to freeze it. Now, this is a controversial one, and I have said before on my channel that my birds don't like frozen chop, and that's fine. But if your bird does like frozen chop, then what you can do is make up great big batches, make sure you're getting the most for your money when buying your produce, and then you can freeze it into either plastic bags, tubs, or even ice cube trays if you have a single bird. Featured this in my life hacks video. If you haven't seen that already, again, link above and down below. But sometimes, you know, people worry when they have one bird that they can't get the variety that other people, say for example our birds with 7 of them. So if you make bigger batches and freeze them into small portions like in ice cube trays, then you can still give your bird that variety and diversity whilst also saving money. Now, you do need to be careful when you're freezing vegetables and things like that, because they do go a bit wet and soggy and that kind of thing, and that can sometimes trigger hormonal behaviour. And also some birds don't really like that kind of texture. For example, my birds really like crunchy fresh chop, which is why I make it every week. So you can see if your bird likes it. Sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a backup as well, and I'd probably only keep it in the freezer for about 3 months. If you're making more of that, then the B vitamins start to break down first, and then over time all of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients and that kind of thing will start to break down. So it's fine to freeze, but you don't want to freeze like an entire year's worth, because then by the time your bird gets around to it, it's not going to be as nutritious. But if you want to freeze things, that's fine. And you can also use frozen fruits and vegetables if you'd like to give those to your birds too. One of my birds' favourites is actually frozen peas, and it's really hard to get them fresh, so we get frozen peas. I know I've always got them in the freezer when we want them, and they're an absolute favourite. I could probably use them as training treats. So try out frozen vegetables, especially if prices are particularly high at the moment, and see what your bird thinks of them. So that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed hearing some of my money saving tips for making parrot chop. I also have a kind of general money saving tips for parrot keeping, so if you'd like to see that, I'll leave it on the end screen. Again, link above and down below. If you have any of your own money saving tips, please do leave them down in the comments so we can all save a few pennies together. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day. Take care and see you later.